Here's something that should make you pause. Samsung's health app already lives on more than 64 million phones every single month, and as of this week, it just quietly turned into something far more powerful than a step counter. Samsung has rebuilt the app around generative AI, the same kind of technology that powers chatbots, and pointed it directly at the data coming off your wrist. Think about that for a second. Your smartwatch already tracks your heart rate every few seconds, your sleep stages overnight, your blood oxygen, even how hard you breathe during a run. Until now, that was just numbers on a screen. Most people glanced at them and forgot them by lunchtime. Samsung's new update changes the entire equation. Instead of showing you a chart and leaving you to guess what it means, the app now reads all of that data together and explains it back to you in plain English, like a personal coach who never sleeps. Imagine waking up and your phone telling you, in a full sentence, why you feel groggy, not just a sleep score of 72, but an actual explanation tying your late caffeine, your restless night, and your elevated resting heart rate together. That's the leap Samsung is making, and the timing is no accident. But here's the twist nobody expected. The most important part of this update isn't the feature everyone's talking about. Let me show you what's really going on under the surface. To understand why this matters, you have to understand how we got here. For over a decade, fitness trackers played a simple game: collect data, show data, repeat. Samsung Health launched back in 2012 as little more than a digital pedometer. Then came heart rate sensors, then sleep tracking, then blood oxygen and ECG readings. Each generation crammed more sensors into the watch on your wrist. By 2025, a Galaxy Watch was packing a tiny lab against your skin, optical sensors firing light into your blood vessels thousands of times a minute. The problem was never the data. The problem was that humans are terrible at reading it. A resting heart rate of 68 beats per minute means nothing to most people. Is that good, bad, should you worry? For years the answer was a shrug and a colored ring. Meanwhile, the world of AI exploded. Large language models learned to take messy information and turn it into clear, human explanations. Samsung looked at that wave and saw the obvious match. They were sitting on a mountain of personal health data with no good way to explain it, and suddenly a technology existed that could translate numbers into meaning. So they fused the two together. This update is the result of that collision between years of sensor hardware and the new generation of AI software. And here's where it gets interesting. Samsung isn't the only giant racing down this exact path. So how does this actually work under the hood? Let's break it down without the marketing gloss. At the center sits a generative AI model, software trained to recognize patterns and produce natural language. Samsung feeds it the streams coming off your watch, your sleep stages, your heart rate variability, your activity history, your stress readings. Think of it like a translator standing between a wall of spreadsheets and you. The raw data goes in one side as cold numbers. A readable, personalized insight comes out the other. One of the headline features is an AI-powered sleep analysis that doesn't just score your night, it tells you the story of it. It can spot that your deep sleep dropped, connect it to a workout you did too late in the evening, and suggest you move that session earlier. There's also a feature that builds you a personalized wellness plan, adjusting daily as your body changes. Here's the analogy that makes it click. Old fitness apps were like a car dashboard showing you raw gauges. This is like having a mechanic in the passenger seat saying, your engine's running hot because you've been redlining it for 3 days, ease off. Samsung is also weaving this into its broader Galaxy AI ecosystem, the same brand running its phones. The numbers are striking. Samsung claims the system can surface patterns across weeks of data that a human would never spot scrolling charts. But here's what most coverage gets wrong about where this data actually goes. Let's get concrete with real scenarios, because that's where this either earns its keep or falls flat. Picture a shift worker whose sleep is all over the place. Old app, a messy graph and a guilt-inducing low score. New app, a plain message explaining that her irregular schedule is fragmenting her deep sleep, with 2 specific adjustments to try this week. Or take a weekend runner training for his first half marathon. The AI can look at his heart rate trends across a month and warn him he's pushing too hard too fast, flagging the early signs of overtraining before an injury sidelines him. Another example, the app's energy score. Instead of a vague feeling of tiredness, it combines your sleep, your recent activity, and your heart rate to give you a readiness number each morning, then explains in a sentence whether today is a day to push or a day to rest. Samsung is also rolling out AI features tied to its newest Galaxy Watch hardware, including more advanced sleep apnea detection that can alert you to a serious condition you might never have caught. Think about that, a $350 watch quietly flagging a medical issue that normally needs an overnight clinic visit costing far more. That's the promise on paper. The reality, of course, depends on accuracy. And this is where it gets complicated, because an AI that confidently explains the wrong thing can be more dangerous than no explanation at all. Now let's put Samsung up against the competition, because it is absolutely not alone in this fight. Apple, its biggest rival, has been building toward an AI health coach, reportedly codenamed Project Mulberry, designed to do almost exactly this: turn your Apple Watch data into personalized coaching. Google, which owns Fitbit, has been stuffing its Gemini AI into health features, letting you literally ask questions about your own body in a chat window. Oura, the smart ring maker, already offers AI-driven advisories on its tiny finger device. So Samsung's move isn't a lone breakthrough, it's a land grab in a race where every major player wants to own the screen you check first thing every morning. Here's the comparison that matters though. Apple tends to process more health data on the device itself, keeping it private. Samsung's generative features often lean on cloud processing, where heavier AI models live. That's a genuine trade-off, more powerful insights versus more of your intimate data leaving your phone. Think of it like cooking at home versus ordering from a five-star kitchen. The restaurant makes a better meal, but you have to hand over your ingredients and trust what happens in the back. The numbers frame the stakes. The global digital health market is projected to blow past $500 billion within a few years. And whoever wins your trust now wins a decade of loyalty. But here's the kicker: the feature Samsung is quietest about may be the one that decides this whole race. This is where we have to talk about what you're actually handing over, because it's bigger than most people realize. Your health data is arguably the most intimate information about you that exists. It's not just steps, it's your heart rhythm, your sleep patterns, your stress spikes, potentially signs of illness before a doctor ever sees them. When that data feeds a generative AI, especially one running in the cloud, real questions follow. Where is it stored? Who can access it? Could it ever be used to train models or shared with partners? Samsung says health data is encrypted and protected, and that AI features are built with privacy controls. But here's the uncomfortable reality: a single health insight requires the system to analyze deeply personal signals, and the more useful the AI becomes, the more of you it needs to see. There's also the accuracy problem. Generative AI is famous for hallucinating, confidently stating things that aren't true. In a chatbot, that's an annoyance. In a health app, an AI that misreads your data and tells you you're fine when you're not, or panics you over a normal reading, carries real consequences. That's why Samsung is careful to frame these as wellness insights, not medical diagnoses, a legal line as much as a technical one. Consider this: roughly 1 billion people worldwide wear some kind of health tracker now. The decisions these companies make about your data ripple across a huge slice of humanity. And that scale is exactly why the next part matters so much. So let's get practical. How do you actually use this and use it wisely? First, the basics. To get these features, you'll need the updated Samsung Health app, and for the deeper insights, a recent Galaxy Watch paired to a Galaxy phone. Open the app, head into the settings, and you'll find the new AI and personalization options. This is the moment to slow down. Before you tap accept on everything, read the data permissions screen carefully. Decide what you're comfortable sharing. You can often enable the insights while limiting how your data is used beyond the app itself. Next, treat the AI's advice the way you'd treat advice from a knowledgeable friend, not a doctor. If it flags something serious, an irregular heart rhythm, possible sleep apnea, don't panic, but do book a real appointment to confirm it. Use the AI as an early smoke alarm, not the fire brigade. Here's a smart habit: check the energy or readiness score in the morning, but cross-check it against how you actually feel. If the app says push hard and your body says otherwise, trust your body. The AI is working off patterns, not the full picture of your life. And periodically revisit your privacy settings, because app updates sometimes reset or add new data sharing options without a loud announcement. A 2-minute check every few weeks keeps you in control. Master that balance, and these tools genuinely help. But there's one last thing you need to understand before you rely on any of this. So here's what this actually means for you today. Samsung turning its health app into an AI-powered coach isn't a gimmick. It's a glimpse of where all personal technology is heading. The device on your wrist is shifting from a thing that records your life to a thing that interprets it, and increasingly advises you on it. That's genuinely useful. An AI that spots a sleep apnea pattern or warns you about overtraining could improve or even save real lives. But the same power that makes it helpful is what demands your attention. You are trading deeply personal data for convenience and insight, and the smart move isn't to refuse the trade, it's to make it with your eyes open. Use the insights, but verify the serious ones with a real professional. Enjoy the coaching, but guard your privacy settings like they matter, because they do. The companies racing to build this, Samsung, Apple, Google, are betting that whoever becomes your trusted health advisor wins the next decade. That trust is yours to give and yours to take back. So here's what to watch for next. How transparent these companies stay about where your data goes as the features grow more powerful. If breaking down the tech landing in your pocket helps you make sharper decisions, follow for daily AI news. We cut through the headlines that actually affect your life every single day. Stay curious, stay in control, and I'll see you in the next one.